Yo, Don.
What is up?
What's up, dude? How are you, buddy?
Rich, there's only one way to kick off episode 97.
97.
To Victor. Score a touchdown.
1, 2, 3.
Hit 'em
Hit 'em high.
Watch the
Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly. On the road to victory. E-A-G-E-E-S. Balls. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Don. Let's go.
11-1.
11-1, Don.
Rich, I'm tired. I am tired. You know what I'm tired of?
What?
I'm tired. I'm tired of people trying to find losses. This team
It's complete.
will beat you whatever way they feel like it that day. You don't want to. You want to stop the run? We're going to throw for 350. You want to stop the pass?
We'll run for 350.
We're going to run for 350. I am so tired of people trying to find losses on this schedule.
You can't do it.
You can't.
Can't do it.
So look at the schedule, look at the matchup, and stop trying to like. I'm not saying like everybody put your green goggles on, pick up the ecto cooler, drink the green
No.
But look at it look at it realistically, and look at this team and look at how they dominate week after week after week after week. And to be honest, the game that they lost, they beat themselves.
Yeah. Mike, what's up, brother?
Chris. Yeah.
What up, brother?
Yeah, episode
Crazy,
9. Oh, 100.
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
Kind of wild. Hey, Mike, we might got something planned for the 100.
Yeah.
For the hundo.
Chris, we're gonna talk a little bit of Phillies in a minute, buddy. Trust me, we're gonna give our thoughts. So
stay tuned.
We had to do that for this week's episode because it's important. So we'll talk about it.
It's all big stuff.
But man, you're right, dude. I mean, we did beat ourselves. We shot ourselves in the foot against Washington. Oh, first and foremost, what's up, Philly? It's Rich and Don, drunk on broad. I mean, you fucking know us by now, and if you don't, well, that's your fault. So sorry that I had to give the intro at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. But if not, yeah, fuck off. Who cares? It's just how we roll, dude. We shot ourselves in the foot against Washington. Let's be real. But we also didn't have, better defensive tackles. We didn't have these guys, these run stuffers, and Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh and Jordan Davis.
And look how deep that group is.
And look how deep they are. Look what we did to stop Derrick Henry. Look at Blankenship stepping up and playing an amazing safety role with Gardner Johnson being out. Like, this team has that mentality, that next man up mentality, minus the fact that we did have to sign Joseph and Suh. But
good on Howie for identifying a need, going out and getting not just one guy, but getting the two best guys that are available.
Dude, I drew a fucking blank there, so thank you for filling that in, because I had a real long pause. I'm like, what am I trying to say? And you exactly said it, so I appreciate it. I had one sip of this Mad Elf Grand Cru, and it's already got me. It's already got my goofy. If you guys haven't had the Mad Elf Grand Cru, I'll show you the bottle. This is the bottle. It's got a fancy cork on it. It is Mad Elf, but I believe it's more conditioned. It's a little bit darker, which is nice, and it's good. It's good all around Christmas time beer. I had to get me a 4-pack when I went to the beer store and was like, it's Christmas season, baby. I need my Christmas beers. So drink a little sip of the naughty water. It might put you down, but we're staying up and we're having a good time.
There we go.
Dude.
The old trusty.
An old trusty Miller Lite. Can't beat it. It's America's finest Pilsner. That's what they say. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Rich, if you would have said going into that game that Ryan Tannehill would have had more rushing yards than Derrick Henry?
I would have spat in your face, smacked the mustache off of Mustachio Dave, and called everybody a liar. Because I didn't see that coming.
No, not at all.
We did such a great job at stop Derrick Henry. Now teams are going to have to find another blueprint. So, and that's exactly what you want to see.
Yep.
I mean, Derrick Henry was having his way with every single team. They come in, hey, Titans are going to – like, I was even fooled. Like, I'm not going to lie. My prediction was extremely close because I thought Derrick Henry was going to be ripping off chunks after chunks. Jordan Davis being back, being lighter, being faster, and still as strong as he was before he left pre-injury, that boy steal of where we got him in the draft because he is a fucking monster. Just the way our front is solidified, I'm still not liking the pressure that we're not creating, but we're stopping the run. And against teams like, the Tennessee Titans with Ryan Tannehill and limited weapons, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's try to dial up some recipes for more success and just keep going forward. I'm not really in the mood to poo-poo on Gannon because I just don't give a shit right now because I'm just so fired up that we're 11-1 and then we're going into the Meadowlands this weekend. We're going up to MetLife, and that field scares me because of the injuries. Knock on wood, nothing happens.
Right.
But other than that, I'm not afraid of that team. They have no healthy wide receivers. Darius Slayton is your best wide receiver who's healthy. You stop Saquon, you score points on this defense, you win the game.
I think, Rich, the blueprint that they use to win this game,
yes,
you could just literally rinse and repeat for this game.
Yeah.
Right? You stop Saquon Barkley, you force Daniel Jones to make do with the weapons that he has left and say, good luck. You have an opportunity really to crush any dream that the Giants had of being a playoff team.
You're right.
And to me, every ounce of what I saw, and we all kind of thought that the game was going to be, within a touchdown.
Yes.
And good God, it wasn't even close.
No.
They just dominated. AJ Brown, player of the game, doesn't have to put out almost barely any effort.
Yeah.
To be able to get anywhere on the field. And the player breakdowns all over the internet, whether it's the Baldy breakdown, Dan Orlovsky, Emmanuel Acha, right? All the guys that are picking up on the player breakdowns, they're basically saying that this offense, pick your poison.
Yeah.
You cannot play. They broke down one play where everybody ends up one-on-one, and there's a guy spying Jalen Hurts, and Devontae Smith is wide open because the dude just runs precise routes and gets anywhere he wants on the field. The play where A.J. Brown scores the second touchdown, basically runs through the guy, and there's no one within 16, 17 yards of him.
Yeah, you're not
catching. He walks him backwards.
Yeah, Chris, the Titans didn't fire their coach. They fired their GM.
Yes. Did you see that video?
No.
Oh, Rich.
There's a video of him getting fired?
No, but there's a video of their GM in the owner's box.
When A.J. Brown scores.
Every time he caught a pass or scored, they turned around and were roasting him. And I must have saw 4 or 5 videos of it. It was
the Eagles fans were roasting.
Fans were roasting.
That's hilarious.
The GM because he's sitting in the box every time AJ Brown did something. It was great.
Well, I mean, it's perfect timing for him to get fired. You made a dumbass trade with the Eagles and giving up your best weapon for Treylon Burks, who is going to be the next AJ Brown. He's not going to be the next. He's going to be a solid wide receiver. He's not going to be the next AJ Brown. Generational talent versus rookie with same body type. We've seen that before. We've seen J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I'm just saying, just because he's big and can go for 50-50 balls doesn't mean he's going to be a great wide receiver.
Right.
And let's be real. They brought in Willis at the end of the game, and he still looked ass.
True.
So I would fire if I'm the owner of the Tennessee Titans. I'm looking at this guy and was like, you traded AJ for this guy? And then in the third, you drafted this guy.
Yeah.
Buddy, you can walk back to Tennessee. I'm not giving you a ride. You don't even deserve to be on my plane. Wow. But that's what happens. I mean, the NFL it's a wild place. They chew up people and they spit them out. Howie's just dealing and doing his thing. And Mustachio Dave, I got something for you. One of these. You know why? Because guess who has the 5th pick overall in the NFL draft right now? Thank you, Andy Dalton, for going 3 incompletions with 2 minutes left, or 2 minutes and 47 seconds left, and giving the ball back to Tom Brady. The Saints are a garbage franchise, and they are going to continue to be garbage. It's not Dennis Allen's fault. It's how that team is constructed. And they can say, oh, it's injuries, it's that, it's this and that. Kamara is going to be suspended for like 6 games next year.
Yeah.
So good luck having Mark Ingram and Tony Jones Jr. trying to run the ball behind that putrid offensive line. And what Chris Olave is literally your shining point. And now you don't have a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick next year. So good luck trying to rebuild. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's going to hurt when we pick, the best defensive player available.
Dude, we're going to trade that pick.
No.
We're going to trade that pick back.
No.
I'm telling you, we're going to trade that pick back to like 8 or 9. We're going to get a 2nd-round pick, a 1st and a 2nd this year, and probably a 1st next year. Someone's going to – because here's what's going to happen, Dom. There's going to be a quarterback out there that somebody wants, and they're going to be like, I'll give you a 1st and a 2nd and a 1st next year. Do you want to take it? And Howie's going to look at it and be like, I moved back 4 spots. Because let's be real, if Anderson's not there from Alabama, I'm fine with trading back. Because that's the guy that I really, really want. And then at 9 or 10, you can still grab a stud. Because look at the holes on this team, Don. Let's just fast forward to the holes. We have some guys we need to resign. But we had some rookies step up who've been extremely good, like Blankenship. Yet Garner Johnson, I don't think they're going to let him walk, right? I just don't see that happening. Bradbury, he may walk. I don't know what he's going to want for a salary. So, yeah, you can at that position, you're going to take either a corner or you're going to take more defensive line help.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
I'm actually going to go opposite. If they're within arm's reach of Will Anderson, I would actually be okay if they traded up.
Depending on what they have to give up. I don't know.
I know, but like, Rich, you're talking about a team that is going to be – they're building that young defensive core.
Yeah.
Right? And if you can – and I would actually be okay with 2 guys. And being that the top of the draft could be quarterback heavy, right, with like C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young and, Will Levis. There's a bunch of guys that are up there. But like Jalen Carter, 6'3", 310, Will Anderson, like you put him on as a D tackle or a D end. Will Anderson, 6'4", 240, runs like a gazelle. Either one of those guys, you stick that guy on this defense coming off the edge. Either one. Like Will Anderson reminds me a lot of Parsons. He's giving me a lot of Parsons.
Yeah.
Where like Jalen Carter, that to me is like, can you imagine sticking those 2 Georgia defensive line guys on this line? Yeah. Right? You put 2 guys that are, 340, 350, and then 310, and they're both, 6'4". Like you can cement your defensive line. Yeah. Right. Now, if they trade back, right, guys like Joey Porter Jr., who could be, a DB, the guy to add. I think, Rich, anything outside the top, I would not want to go past 10.
No, I agree.
Because I feel like past 10 is where it gets a little funky.
Dude, I want the wide receiver from Ohio State.
Oh.
That kid's a stud. Jackson Smith.
Njigba?
Yeah, Njigba. I want him. That kid is a stud. I mean, I just love the way Jalen Hurts is just going through it. I love Quez, but Jesus Christ, Quez. Like, we need an upgrade at the wide receiver 3. We really do. It's just, it hurts. But you know what would be fun? What was I going to say? Shit. I lost it. Never mind. I mean, it would be fun anyway. Dude, this thing's good. It's good. Ooh. But what was I going to say? Shit, I'm losing it right now, Tom.
Oh, God.
Anyway, back to the Titans game.
Right.
What was your key What was the thing that really solidified you? Like, okay, they're going to run away with this one.
When they get the ball back in the set, they're able to just get anywhere they want on the field.
Yeah,
that offense and that offensive line probably had the worst game that they've had all year. Worst game that I could remember from a Jeff.
and the penalty standpoint, Jesus Christ. That game was so long because of all the penalties. It was ridiculous.
And the fact that they, even when they were getting 10-yard penalties, 5-yard penalties, 15-yard penalties, none of it mattered. There were plenty of times in that game where they were 2nd and 10, 2nd and 15, 2nd and 20, 20 plus, and they're still getting first downs. They're still able to move the ball.
No, they were.
Like, as bad as that offensive line looked in times where, like, they're making mistakes, mental mistakes with the penalties, good God, they were able to do whatever they want. I saw on the opposite end of that, I saw plenty of plays where they dominated the defensive line of the Titans one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like, I saw one play where Kelsey down blocks a guy and basically, like, the guy goes flying past Mailata. Like,
that block. Dude, that was nuts.
So that to me was like, it felt like I was in a rocking chair ride the whole game. Like, there was never an ounce of stress where I was like, outside of that, those first couple of drives where they're getting penalties, but middle of the first quarter, by the time they're putting up points, it felt like nothing. Like there was never a doubt in my mind when they were able to stop. They're able to stop the run, and they're able to accelerate the ball on offense. Man, it was.
Jalen Hurts looked good.
And he
was throwing some pretty passes. Like, I love when his press conference, he's like, man, I told these boys, man, be ready anytime. He's like, 'cause the ball's going to come your way. Like that pass to AJ Brown. AJ's like, I don't even know where my feet were. I was just trying to get them in. He's like, I didn't know where I was on the field. And that ball was just perfectly placed. Like, he's come so far. And then in my group chat, I guess Elliot Shore Parks, that fucking little jerk off. He did the our debate that we had last week, 2017 Carson, 2022 Jalen Hurts. Almost identical stats, except Jalen Hurts, obviously his rushing is 600 yards higher, and his passing is only like 75 yards less than what Carson Wentz was at this time, obviously, because that's when Carson Wentz got hurt.
Right.
And it's just like, you're just looking at it, and I'm like, man, Jalen Hurts is playing at like a ridiculous level. Yeah. The strides that he took to get to where he is, it's like, man, and it just shows you a pure wide receiver one is how you succeed in the NFL. It's what you need on your team. So thank God for AJ Brown. And Devonta Smith is just, that was a very impressive game, and that's what stood out to me the most was how impressive he was, how precise his routes were. Because I was waiting for Devonta to get involved pretty much all year. Yes, it took Dallas Goedert for getting hurt for Devonta to become, a surefire target. But the kids putting in work. And we did this. We romped them. What was it, 35-10?
Yeah.
We romped them without one of the best tight ends in the game.
Yeah, you had 200 plus yard receivers.
Pick your poison and then add Dallas Goedert into that mix. That's a scary offense.
Yeah. And his replacement, Jack Stoll, ends up with 3 catches for 41 yards. Right? You had Kenny Gainwell get 3 for 38. You had Quez get 5 for 37. Like, you spread the ball around. Like, they had, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They had 9 guys catch passes in that game.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, when you're 29 for 39 and you throw for 380 and 3 tutties, that's MVP caliber play, right? Coming off a game where he had rushed in the previous game for 120.
Yeah.
So you're showing this league that you're putting this league on notice that says bring your best game plan, and then we're going to do the exact opposite, because what we're going to do is exactly what you thought we weren't going to do.
Yeah. And Tennessee's no slouch of a team. They always play teams. I mean, they play the Chiefs better, than most teams besides the Bengals, who Joe Burrow owns, Patrick Mahomes. I don't understand how that happens, but wide receiver ones matter. No Travis Kelce, that big fumble, that was tough, but you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the outside. Joe Burrow should feast. That's all I'm saying about that. But how about Nakobe Dean coming in and just being a fucking force?
That was the next thing I had on the list to talk about.
Dude, you're looking at Kaiser White. You're good and all. Bye.
Peace.
You're looking at TJ Edwards we might not have the money to sign you. Peace. He came in that one-arm tackle where he's being blocked and still goes and tackles Derrick Henry.
Well, how about the other play where the other play, but there were two other plays where he slides into the hole right behind Jordan Davis.
Dude, he's so good.
Shoots the gap and tackles Derrick Henry in the backfield.
Dude,
can get anywhere on the field.
That kid is, and that's for all those people who said, he's undersized. He took on Derrick Henry like a fucking man.
With one arm.
With one arm. I was like, oh my fucking God. I haven't seen Derrick Henry get tackled like that in a very long time. And then it honestly, I had goosebumps. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, who is it? I'm like, Nakobe Dean. I'm like, wait, the guy that everybody said was too small and was hurt and can't play at the NFL level, and we got him for a steal in the third. I'm like, that is our future middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And he is going to be a scary dude. He's going to figure out this defense, which he probably already has, just watching. I mean, TJ Edwards' play and Kaiser White's play has been remarkable this season. But Jesus Christ, this kid plays 13% of the snaps, gets 6 tackles, 2 for a loss.
Led the team in tackles.
Led the team in tackles.
On 15 plays.
15 plays.
The one play where the play goes out into the flat and he tracks the guy down and tackles him at the sideline. Every bit of what we thought we were going to get from him.
Yeah. Marcus Epps, see you later, cuz. Blankenship's taking that job. With Blankenship and Garner Johnson, 2 ball hawks as safeties, and then one guy who will run 17 yards to smack you. I love Blankenship's game, man. And he's smart. He's good. He's good when it comes to reading the offense, playing the zone. I'm like, dude, this kid is going to be – we have some bright things to look forward to. They drafted well, and signing Blankenship as an undrafted rookie was a great move.
There's another sneaky Howie move, right? The guy they pick up who's an undrafted free agent. Man, Rich, I'm gonna throw Howie Roseman a bouquet right now.
Yeah.
Right? This team is 11-1, like you just said. They got the 5th right now. They got the Saints pick, which is 5th overall. They got $5 million in cap space. They have in 2023. They have 2 firsts, a second, a third, and 2 sevenths. In 24, they have a first, 2 seconds, a third, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and 2 sixths.
Yeah.
And then in 25, they got multiple
Well, and we're gonna get a compensatory pick for Robert Quinn too, because he's not coming back.
Correct.
So we'll probably get a 4th or a 5th round pick for that. So I mean,
he's hitting on all cylinders, man.
Yeah, Howie's been. I think he's surrounded himself with the right people, and this coaching staff is just doing a good job motivating and keeping these kids, playing at a high level, which is awesome. Because let's be real, most of these guys are kids, which it's fun to see youth on this team. Your old guys and the Jason Kelce, the Lane Johnsons, Fletcher Cox. I want Jason Kelce to never retire. I want Lane Johnson to continue to play because I just love both those. I can't wait for the Christmas album. I can't wait for that. Which is
so excited.
Anytime that I get the Instagram ad, or just the thing, it just pops up. I just let it play on my phone, and it instantly makes me happy listening to Jason Kelce and Mailata. Mailata hitting the high notes.
And Hurts makes a cameo in one of the songs.
It's going to be great. So does AJ Brown. AJ Brown makes a cameo too. He was in the booth as they're drinking their Jack Honey and I forget what else they were drinking. Dude, I was just dying. I'm like, this team is so together, and that's why I don't want these like older guys to leave. If we win another Super Bowl, okay, Jason Kelce, you can retire.
Yeah.
But if not, like, you have to bring him back on the coaching staff. Like, you can't just
100%.
He needs to be around this team. Like, he needs to be like the assistant offensive line coach with Jeff Stoutland because you need him. That dude is like the heart and soul. Like,
how about on the Miles Sanders run? They bring in the jumbo package and they bring in Cam Jurgens is in there.
Yeah,
it's incredible, man. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling because you feel like they're finally at a spot where they're really just putting it all together.
Just happy times in Philly, baby. Speaking of happy times in Philly, the Phillies made some big signings, Don Juan. Trey Turner. 11 years, $300 million. Tavon Walker got him for a 4.
4 for 70, 71.
My dad was telling me, I was with him yesterday, and my car was in the shop, so he picked me up from work, and we're talking. And he's like, yeah, he's like, it'd be really great if the Phillies signed Tavon Walker. It's like, I like that guy. He's like, I think that'd be great. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking at my phone, it goes off, and I'm like, I sent it to my dad. I'm like, Dad, are you like fucking clairvoyant or something? He's like,
Dad Stradamus.
Yeah. He's like, wish it to existence, bud. And I'm like, I'm happy with it. I'm like,
I remember in one of the early episodes, I remember Nick talking about that was a guy that he wanted the Phillies to sign when he was a free agent a couple years ago.
Yeah, going to the Mets before he went to the Mets. And Nick was talking about he liked him. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, that's a guy I'd kick the tires on. And I'm glad they did it now because we definitely need to shore up that. Because right now you have Wheeler, Nola, him, and Suarez. We really don't have a number 5. Gibson's gone. Thor's going to be gone, which is completely fine because Thor looks like a shell of himself.
Yeah, I think that's a Bailey Falter maybe holds the spot until.
Please stop.
No,
stop. I hate Bailey Falter.
I know, but you got.
I know.
You gotta let me finish, right? He holds the place until I think midsummer when they bring Andrew Painter.
Yeah,
I think that's a guy that the 5th spot in your rotation is not going to
make or break you.
It's not going to make or break your season, especially in April and May and June. So I think that's a spot, the 5th spot in the rotation where they handle that internally, and then they wait until Painter's ready and then they bring him up.
Agreed.
But I mean, I like that rotation, right? I like the idea that you go Wheeler, Nola, you go Suarez, Walker, and then whoever. I think that's a solid.
Suarez was so good this postseason; it was ridiculous. That kid, I had my doubts, but that kid, man, it's just the fact he lives low in the strike zone. Like the kid, he does. You don't have to be overpowering, right? You just have to do the little things right. You have to take the Greg Maddux approach. You have movement and you hit your spots. You have movements and you hit your spot and you throw 93, you're going to be fine. Throw 100 and you leave it over the pike, Alvarado, you jerk off. Well, it gets hit far. It gets hit very, very far. Ball go in fast, ball leave fast. Science. You're a science teacher. You know physics.
All we have to do is transfer that energy.
Yeah, and that's what they do to Alvarado's pitches 92% of the time.
That 98 mile an hour fastball that turns that's a lot of potential energy.
Yeah, it's a lot of potential energy to go over the fence 350.
Right.
But no, I mean, I think the Phillies made solid moves. I think we already knew that Trey Turner was going to come here because that's Bryce's boy, and Bryce was talking him up. I'm happy with it. People were like, oh, the length and the money. Shout out to Gabe, you jerk off. My buddy Gabe. The poo-pooer. Big contracts for older guys in baseball never turn out. No shit, Gabe. That's what
That's money. I don't give a shit.
Fucking money, dude. Mind you, he's a Yankees fan, and they just paid fucking Aaron Judge what 9 years, $365 million.
The money, Rich, at this point is just fucking bonkers.
Yeah,
it's literally like play money. Like you might as well it's just like stealing the entire stack of Monopoly money out of the bag. Like it's just crazy.
It's fucking quarterback money. That's basically what it is. If you expand these quarterbacks, their contracts out to be 11 years, this is what the money would
look like. You're right. Now, how about the stat that the guys that they had starting the year last year, right up the middle, we're going to make more than Turner and Stock combined.
Oh yeah,
Didi and Segura.
Didi was like what 21 or something or 18.
Yeah, they were combined like low 30s.
Yeah.
And then these guys, and it helps that Stott's on a rookie contract. So 90% of that money is Trey Turner's, but there's still the combined salary of those two guys is less this year than it was last year, which is wild. And you could argue that they're incredibly better up the middle now than they were anytime last year, right? And Marsh is a guy in the middle who's going to bat 9 and just be
a defensive,
just run foul pole to foul pole and just keep the ball in front of him, hopefully. And
only one we really need to step up is Castellanos. He's got to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah,
Castellanos figures it the fuck out. I mean, we're in good shape.
Yeah, if he can be remotely close to what he was in the offseason, I'll take that.
What about Reese? What do we do with Reese? Does he stay?
To me, it's kind of foolish to get rid of him at this point because.
Do you move him to DH?
Yes.
And put Bohm at first?
I would entertain the idea. I think they're going to do a better job now that Bryce is going to miss that first half of the season.
Yeah.
They're going to do a better job at using that DH to give guys days off.
Okay.
And really, I think you're going to see days.
Can we give them permanent days off at first? I can play first. Just saying. Can't hit for shit, but I'll play first.
I think with nobody's going to take his contract right now. I think for me, what do you got to lose? Like he does.
Who plays third?
Who right now? Bone.
Well, say we move whatchamacallit to first. Bone to first. Who plays?
I don't know. Edmundo Sosa.
Oh, I forgot we still have him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, for me,
Matt Strom signed with San Diego Padres. Is that the lefty?
That's the lefty from the Padres.
Yeah, kid's decent.
I missed
it. We need another lefty. I just didn't know what his name was, and I saw Chris put it up there. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun year.
I like it. I like where they are. I like one that you took Taijuan Walker off the Mets, and now he's on the Phillies.
What are you talking about, dude? They just upgraded. They have 2 pitchers with a combined age of 86.
Yeah, that they're paying 200. They're paying an insane amount of money.
And they're still not going to make the playoffs.
Right.
That's so dumb. The Mets are just going to Mets.
Forever. They will
forever. The Mets are going to be the Mets. Oh, we just let DeGrom go to Texas because he doesn't ever want to win a World Series. DeGrom's just I just want to go pitch 3 games a year and then come back for playoffs and get rocked. So I'll just go down to Texas where nobody gives a fuck. So that's cool for me. And then they're like, oh, I got an idea. Let's give Verlander $43 million a year, and he's 42. So this is going to be real fun. Yeah. It makes no sense. The Mets are just fucking dumb. But anyway, Don, take us into Losing Sucks, and then we'll get our preview of the Giants game.
Well, listen, if you ever needed fantasy advice, right, this is last week for most of those leagues that are probably rolling to the playoffs. So if you look at your trade deadline is probably already passed. So you're probably going to hear a lot of stuff that you might pick up on the waiver wire, guys to start and sit. But shout out to our guys over at Losing Sucks.
Hell yes.
All right, boys. Let's talk some fantasy football. Drunk on Broad, what's up? It's Travis again. 13 weeks in the books. Week 14 is here. This is the last week of most people's regular season. It is do or die in a lot of situations. Let's give you some tidbits of what just happened and what to look for in Week 14. Maybe it will help you make some tough decisions. Week 13, we saw the Dallas Cowboys running back room decide that it is okay to share. Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard, both startable every week. Get them in your lineups, much like Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. They can all eat at the same time. DeAndre Swift is back just in time for the playoffs, and by back we mean top 5 type production. just in time for the playoffs and Christmas. Christian Watson is a touchdown magnet. He is on a bye this week, but he has been wide receiver 2 over the last 4 weeks, only second to Devontae Adams, which is mind-blowing when you think about where he came from just a mere month ago. No Jimmy Garoppolo will likely hurt the San Francisco weapons, but Christian McCaffrey, without Elijah Mitchell stealing some work, will be and is the top running back in fantasy football. Again, he has league-winning upside every week. This is who you drafted at 101 or 102 overall. It's great to see him healthy. Knock on wood. Let's keep it going, Christian McCaffrey. Mike White loves, and I mean loves, Garrett Wilson from the Jets. These two, they've got a connection. Elijah Moore is an afterthought. I think Wilson is a top 15 receiver rest of the way, which coming from somebody like myself who doubts rookies is tough to say. But Watson and Garrett Wilson are just balling right now. Let's keep it rolling with them. Geno Smith and the Seahawks are incredibly consistent. Words I did not think I would say a few months ago at draft season. But you're starting Geno Smith week in and week out. He's giving you 20 points a week, which is hard to come by. Let's look at week 14. First of all, you do not run on San Francisco. They are the number one run defense by a lot in every metric. I am tempering expectations for Leonard Fournette and Rachaad White. If you have equal options at running back, I would probably go with others. Some examples of those type of guys are Jeff Wilson, Isaiah Pacheco, Jamal Williams. I think these guys have better weeks than both Buccaneers running backs. I just mentioned Seattle. With Kenneth Walker out, I expect Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf to both be in the top 12 this week. I expect huge weeks from them. And that just reiterates, start Geno Smith, start these receivers. Seattle will be on a lot of winning rosters here in a few weeks when rings are handed out. I do not trust Amari Cooper until we see a better version of Deshaun Watson, which could be a while. 700 plus days without football. He looked every bit of that. The rust is real. Amari Cooper, Dustin and I said last night, I think he's outside of our top 20 to 25. Rest of the way, the fall off could be pretty steep. DJ Chark is again a sleeper of ours. They should be playing catch up. The Lions and the Vikings are going to have a really fun fantasy matchup. I'm starting everybody in that game that I can. TJ Hawkinson, I think, is going to be my star of the week again. I think 70 and a touchdown or two on tap in a mini revenge game for him. Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins. All these guys are going to give you some huge weeks. So anybody in that matchup, auto start for me. Cortland Sutton is doubtful. Jerry Jeudy will be covered very tightly by Kansas City, but Denver doesn't have many options. So I feel like 10-plus targets for Jeudy is on tap. Sneaky play as a top 3 or 4 tight end this week. Greg Dulcich, as we like to call him. Dulcich. I think he'll be heavily involved again this week. And finally, some defensive streamers. I think I touched on this last week. Kansas City is a nice pickup. You haven't been starting them many times this year, but in the playoffs, week 15 and 17 have some great matchups for Kansas City. And Tennessee gets Houston in week 16. So these two defenses I love for the playoffs. If you've been streaming, grab them. They're likely out there. Good luck in week 14. Do or die, win or go home. As we always say, losing sucks. Don't do it.
My man Travis just dropping knowledge.
Yeah, I jumped on that Geno train early in the season.
Oh, yeah.
Drafted Stafford, got off that train. Actually, dropped him for a backup tight end this week.
Not mad at you, Don.
I picked up one of the dudes that they were talking about from the Jets. Oh God,
Garrett Wilson?
No,
Talkin?
no, one of the depth guys. God, why am I blanking on this?
Corey Davis?
Nope.
CJ Uzma?
No, I'll tell you in half a second here.
The running back? Knight?
Oh no, God, where?
Don, I mentioned everybody on the fucking team, but
Jesus Christ,
figure it out.
Oh God,
Figure it out.
Zonovan Knight.
Yeah, Bam Knight. Call him Bam.
Gotcha.
You're not hip to it. You're calling him by his government name. You're not calling him by his teammate name. You don't even know Bam Knight.
As the kids would say, I was using the government.
Yeah, no cap, bro. No cap.
All
That's,
cap.
that's what the kids say. I'm like, one guy asked me at work. He's like, yeah, you know what cap means? I'm like, ball cap? He's like, nah, it means like no lie. I'm like, well, why don't you just say no lie? He's like, oh, the kids are saying cap nowadays. And I'm like, whoa, hey, fellow teenagers.
Hey, you're on caps lock.
Yeah. Caps lock, bud. Yeah, I felt real old. I'm like, damn, I didn't know that one. Not great advice as always from Travis, and losing sucks. Trust me, I am in the boat of losing sucks. I am out of 6 playoffs, and I am in 1 in a goofy scoring league. Don't ask me how I'm doing it, but hey, I'm doing it, so I'm happy. Don is actually set to play one of the worst teams in our Dynasty League, aka myself. So that'll be a really nice win for Don this week. And it pushes me further into getting the number 1 overall pick in that league. So, hey, go me.
I'm playing. I got Booch this week.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Dynasty League you have me.
Oh, in the Dynasty League, I'm playing you.
Which will be a good win. Good win for you.
That'll be a good one.
I just need to keep losing. Just secure me that spot. I don't really like that league. And I haven't really told anybody that I really want to blow it up. But
just blow it up.
I might just blow it up anyway and just not renew it. And then when I get angry messages of we tried. I want to kick my cousin out. I want to kick Jeff out. I like everybody else in it, but I kind of want to start fresh.
Oh God.
Yeah, Dynasty's yeah, it's tough.
Hard. Yeah,
it's hard. But I'm also on the 5-year plan, and I'm not upping the price. If anything, it'll just stay $10 winner takes all again next year, and I just won't look at it. It just gives me something to do. I love drafting. I wanted to try the auction, Don. I wanted to try it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun way to do it.
I like it. Yeah, I'm in the league at school. I'm in first.
Ooh, what's your team look like, Don?
So Josh Allen, Devontae Adams, Waddle, Chubb, Tavius Murray, Foster Moreau, Jamar Chase, and then Nick Folk.
You might want to drop Foster Moreau. Is there any other tight ends out there?
I had David Njoku.
He's coming back.
But he's coming. Yeah, he's been kind of hit and miss.
What about Dolcic? Is he out there?
Maybe I might go get some Dolcic love.
Dolcic. I mean, I
some shares.
You might as well, dude, because I had Foster Moreau last week, and he fucking killed me. With all of a sudden he's out, getting looked at for. He's just. This is the thing, man. This is why I hate tight ends. I'm trying in my home league to get rid of tight ends because Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert have both been out since week 10. They're both still ranked inside the top 6 at the tight end position. That's how bad tight end sucks. It's just not worth it. If you don't get Travis Kelce or Mark Andrews, it's not worth it.
Yeah, you're kind of screwed either way.
It's just not worth any of that. But hey, I digress. Moving on. Eagles play the Giants, Don.
Giants. So we kind of touched on it earlier, but I think they kind of regurgitate this game plan, right?
They tied Washington last week.
Yeah. Well, that was a fucking awful game.
That game was fucking terrible.
Terrible. I mean, you're talking about Darius Slayton and Isaiah Hodgins and Richie James, who's questionable, and Daniel Bellinger. These are the first string guys that we're talking about. So I don't think that Slay and Bradbury have a problem shutting any of those guys down.
No.
I think that the way that the D line is playing with the depth that they have is really going to be able to kind of gang up on Saquon Barkley the same way they were able to gang up on Derrick Henry. I mean, Saquon Barkley does have a history of being able to bust through the line and go for 79 on a whim.
Agreed.
So, but outside of that, Daniel Jones never in his life has ever scared me as a quarterback. So I think this is a game where they go up and flex a little bit.
I honestly don't see how the Eagles don't kill them. I mean, that's just me. I don't see the Giants early on. Yes, they were playing motivated. Coach had them in the right position. Their defense was playing stellar. They haven't seen a team like the Eagles yet. They haven't seen a team like the Eagles. And I think a more complete offense with most of your skill positions and your defensive players healthy. And let's be real, like you said, the Giants don't have many healthy options. Your best wide receiver is Darius Slayton. Guy I like, but he's a slot guy. Okay? Feast in the slot. I'm not afraid of your outside guys. You shut down Barkley. You contain Daniel Jones so he doesn't run for 130 yards. You're fine. I think it's another one of those games where Daniel Jones outrushes Saquon Barkley because that's what they're going to have to do.
Okay.
The Eagles don't beat themselves. I don't see why they don't win. I think this is going to be a Miles Sanders game. I think they have the recipe of, okay, we can throw it, like you said, throw it for 350 or run it for 350. Either way you take it, I'm taking the Eagles. Let me see. 28-13.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like a score that's kind of in the same range as what we just had, like 35-10. I think it's a game where you see Gardner Minshew in the fourth quarter. I think you look at these next stretch of games and see that they have opportunities to be able to put teams away early and get those guys rest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to speak on of the Giants. I think we saw all we needed to see last week against Washington with the Giants. Yes, we lost to Washington, so hardy har. Yeah. It's going to be hard to beat this team. It's going to be hard to beat this Eagles team, and I just don't see them doing it. And Don, I want to talk about some fun stuff. I want to talk about Christmas time, bud.
Let's go.
Because I got the tree, I got the nutcrackers behind me, bud. Like,
I got a nutcracker obsession.
Me too, Don. That's why we're best buds, because I love nutcrackers. I knew you would love them. I'm bald. You're bald. You do a Drunk on Broad podcast. I do a Drunk on Broad podcast.
Right?
Fucking coincidence, Don.
It's a coinky dink.
I like science. You teach it. Boom.
There we go.
That's a win. No, I love my nutcrackers, dude. Christmas is just so much fun. And it's so much fun having Ollie. It's so goofy when like boxes get dropped off at the house and he goes, "What's that, Dad?" And I'm like, "It's nothing." And it's like I got to throw it in the garage. Oh, that's a good one.
This is one that the kids, and this was a little summer. This was a project when we were at I can't remember. We were probably at Hobby Lobby, right? And they got the design your own nutcracker, right? So we did the Philly Sports nutcracker. So we got the bottom half of the legs is the orange and black with the Flyers. You got the Phillies on the lower half. You got the Philadelphia Union belt. You got the Sixers vest on the chest. And
did you paint that, or did they do it?
I did. Yeah, we painted it.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I had the stickers.
We painted it. So it was a little summer project, but
you even got the Union represented with the soccer ball in the center, dude.
5 for 5.
Dude, I love it, Don.
Yeah, it was cool. But we have probably, I mean, we've got 3 nutcrackers that are like 3-4 feet, 3.5 feet tall. What you got? And then we got some. We probably got about 30 or 40 of them.
He's gonna do the show for me next week.
Nice.
He's gonna do the show for me next week.
Did you get him at CVS?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No, the funny thing is, my wife brought him home for me. She's like, my wife Jamie hates nutcrackers. I don't know what she has against them, but she hates them. Every year, thank God Ollie likes them, because I swear to God, they would sit in the box in the garage.
That's it.
If it was Christmas time, and she'd be like, "We're not putting these things around the house." That's why she gave me the window.
Oh, okay.
Then my sister today gives Ollie 2 nutcrackers, and she's like, "Where did these come from?" Because my sister knows I'm obsessed with nutcrackers. Dude, I got like 5 more nutcrackers at my parents' house that are mine. Like I bought like $50 nutcrackers, like a barbecue one that has like a beer and peanuts one. I got like a Russian soldier one. I got to change it to like a Ukrainian soldier because I don't support the Russians. So we'll change it.
This is an anti-Russia podcast.
And sorry for our fans over there. Keep drinking your vodka and rock on. I guess. I don't know. But like I had to take them and like bring them here because I'm like, this is I love my nutcrackers. I love my Christmas village. I just need space for it. If I actually had space, I can set up all my Christmas houses. I think that'll be something cool to do with like Ollie next year. Maybe like take the the chairs away, and then next to it, like put the tables with the snow, with the lights. Like that'll be cool.
And for me, it's gotten to the point now where like my kid, like the kids kind of took over.
Nice.
Like my daughter did she took over the little ceramic houses that are on the main.
Yeah, the Christmas village. Yeah,
with all the lights, and they were setting up the nutcrackers. We probably got Rich. I'll have to send you a picture, but probably 40.
That's
40.
awesome.
But they're all in front of the fireplace.
Nice.
But yeah, and Rich, you ready for this? I bought my first. I got a jersey obsession, right?
Yes.
So I bought my first jersey that wasn't a Philly sports jersey. But it has a Christmas movie theme to it. Can you venture a guess? It's probably from one of your it's from a very, very prominent Christmas movie.
Is it a Blackhawks jersey?
It is.
And it's from Christmas Vacation.
It is.
Clark W. Griswold.
I got it. I did. I got
the Griswold jersey?
I got the white Griswold 00 Blackhawks. Yeah, I actually found it on Amazon.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So that's gonna be the Christmas Eve at my parents'. That'll be the new go-to.
That's so cool.
The new comfy go-to wear.
Dude, I love it. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching Scrooged last night. We started it with Ollie, and he was into it. Scrooge, the one with Bill Murray. Bill Murray, Scrooged.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's one of my favorite Christmas time movies. It's funny. It's a little Ollie. Like, I love my son, but for a 4-year-old, like he really doesn't like the kiddiest of kiddie shows.
Okay.
He doesn't. He's not like really big in like the animation stuff and like the cartoons. He's like more like real life people. That's why I'm like, all right, let me see if he likes Scrooge. So we put it on. He was like sitting there like, I'm like, he's not a nice guy, is he? And he goes, no, Dad, no. And then we just got to the part where he hops in the cab and it's the ghost of Christmas Past.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna finish watching that tomorrow and Friday.
Nice.
And I'm just like, it's I could watch. Jamie is I like crimes and death before bed, and I'll watch Christmas Vacation. Like I haven't watched Christmas Vacation yet. I'm probably gonna put it on when I go in the bedroom because she'll be asleep. Because it's just one of those things. Like I love Christmas movies. I can watch them all the time, but I'm like, I need to see Christmas Vacation at least 10 times before Christmas.
Oh, 100%. Trying to think of what we've watched recently. We watched Arthur Christmas. We watched.
It's okay.
It's okay. Home Alone.
Oh, we watched Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
We did the 3 Santa Clauses.
Okay.
We did Christmas Story.
Did you watch the new Santa Claus show?
No, we haven't.
It's fucking trash. Don't watch it.
Okay. Perfect. But my favorite is Fred Claus. I love
Fred Claus is great.
I love it. It's great.
Fred Claus is a great movie. I'm not mad at it. That's great. We didn't watch Elf yet, dude. I have so many movies. I'm like, Jamie's
that's a cool place to be because you got a lot of cool stuff to share with them.
We do, and I'm just like so excited to like just get into it. Don, it's the time, brother.
It is. What do you got? What do we got for final thoughts here?
So, final thoughts. I'm not going deep tonight. I just want to talk about a show, 2 shows that I love that I've watched and been watching. One, they're both on Hulu, and the first one is Letterkenny. If you haven't watched Letterkenny,
okay,
you're missing out. It is one of the funniest shows. It is a Canadian comedy about the town of Letterkenny. It's just great. It's very dry at most points, but it's funny. It's like one of those things, like it doesn't make sense most of the time. It always starts at there's 5,000 people in the town of Letterkenny. Here are their problems. And it's always like centered around like a problem that the people are having. I just watched the one where they're like shitbag kids were like doing stuff in town, like throwing poop on people's steps or like groping. Like one was like copping a feel or some, and I forget what the other one's. Oh, stealing mailboxes. And the guys are sitting at the bar and they're mad that all these things are happening. And then Katie, the sister's like, well, you guys did these as kids. And they're like, allegedly, because obviously it was never proven. But that's like some of the things they say. Like I at work all the time, like when somebody's having a problem, like I'll just figure it out because that's like the Canadian thing. It's
Nice.
It's fucking funny.
That's
And then also to piggyback off that, because the show is like, there's skids, which are like the weird kids, like kind of meth heads, like the weird gothy kids, the skids. And then you have
nice.
so just the Letterkenny kid, like dudes, like the farmers, who is Wayne and Squirrely Dan and Daryl and Katie. Then you have the hockey bros, Jonesy and I forget the other one. But it like centers around like there's a hockey team in Letterkenny Shamrocks, and that's what the two guys are from. But then there's a character introduced named Shorzy, who's a real jerk off, but he's absolutely hilarious. Well, they did a spinoff, and now there's a Shorzy show.
Ooh, okay.
But Shorzy is actually better because it's if you like sports, Don, which you do. I mean, there's 3 ex-NFL or NHL players in the show who are on the hockey team. And it's about a guy who's trying to save they do like little leagues in Canada, and this guy wants to save his league from folding. And it actually has a story behind it. It is one of the most beautiful shot, funniest, good storyline shows that I've watched in a long time. Like I watched the season twice. It's just so well done. And I'm hoping Hulu gives them a season 2 because it's got like a 9.3 on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. It's certified.
Nice.
It's that good. So I recommend if you're looking for a sports show to watch Shorzy because you're going to laugh and you're going to enjoy a lot of fighting. And that's both shows, Letterkenny and Shorzy, a lot of brawls. It's good. So that's my final thoughts. Something, not holiday like, but something that just is fun to watch and pass the time and make you laugh. Letterkenny and Shorzy.
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, for final thoughts for me, like I want to just give a shout out with the Army-Navy game going on. Anybody that is involved in any kind of service, thank you for your service.
Hell yeah.
The Army-Navy game is a tradition like no other. It's just a good reminder of what's actually important, and giving the opportunity to put those 2 teams and those 2 schools in the spotlight, and really kind of focus on what is really important. And the Army is a good game, regardless of the schedule, the records. It's always a good game. So I'm looking forward to that this Saturday, and should be a fun watch. Should be a good time. So
hell yeah.
Oh, well, listen, Rich. We got to shout out our sponsors. If you get a chance to head over to if you're in the Norristown neighborhood, you go over to Von C Brewing over in Norristown, right off Sturgis Street, and check out. They got some good holiday stuff going on. They were nominated for an online voting of one of their brews, their Vienna lager. So go check them out, and then. Go check out Lots of Rain and Team Clicks and Shocked and Streaker Sports. They all, they have some good merchandise over there. You can check those out in our link tree. Rich, take us home.
Well, you know what the funny thing is? Santa actually dropped something off for me, so I got to go grab it real quick.
Nice. What do we got?
Well, you stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. But Santa put some stuff in my stocking. Let me pull it out. Oh, there's one. It's a fuck you to Sean Watson. Hold on. Oh, it's a fuck you Ben Simmons. Oh, I got to dig deep for this one. Oh, it's a merry fuck you Spike Eskin. Hold on, all the way to the bottom. It's a never-ending bag, Don. And a fuck you Davion Taylor. We are drunk on broad. Everyone, be safe. Have a great holiday season. We will see you next week. I am Rich. That is Don. For Joe and Jason, who are not here with us, we are Drunk on Broad. Join us every Wednesday or Thursday. Whenever you see us pop up, come hang out. You can find our shit wherever you want to find it. And it's always, fuck Dallas, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
This is the Broad Street Line, where Philly sports fans leave all of their sports hot takes. Call 267-405-3062 and show us your passion for Philly sports. Don't forget to tune in every every Wednesday at 8:30 when we listen to your live reactions to the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat.